What's going on, guys? Today we'll be reviewing and breaking down Noah Lyles' training session. He'll be releasing a docuseries on YouTube going through all his prior training. So we're just going to take a deep dive and look at what he's been doing to make him the fastest man on earth. So let's get right to it. So this video that I'm going to be critiquing, he just uploaded it a couple days ago to his YouTube channel, and it's actually from 2022, this video, but he's been the fastest man in the world for many years now, so it is still very much relevant. And it's going to be nice to take a look at what he was doing back then to be a world champion, and then look at what he's doing now to be now an Olympic champion and still the reigning world champion. And I think this year at the World Championships, he can do it again. He can do the 100, he can do the 200. If USA gets it together, he can get the 4x1. And it's just incredible to see what somebody's gone through from years ago till now, and you know, we're witnessing it. So I think this is going to be a great docuseries that he's releasing. And now to actually break down his training. So he just did a sprint there. Looks like it was kind of a warm-up. Now he's getting into the blocks. You guys know, or if you don't know, but as a short sprinter, your start is everything, right? That start can win or lose that race for you. And Noah, if we're being honest, he's not the greatest block starter. So him starting his workout with the blocks is honestly very, very smart. That looked good right there. Think he's going around 60 meters, maybe the whole thing. Can't really tell right there, but block starts are absolutely crucial. You need to have a lot of energy for it, so it's good that he's starting off with it. And now reviewing his form, reviewing the technique. You know, anything that you're doing that requires a lot of technical focus, like a block start, you have to take a look at the film, right? And that's what having a good coach can do. Got the iPad right there, looking at what they can do better, looking at where they made mistakes, looking at what they did good. And you know, this is just one of the greatest things you can do to improve, is just looking at everything that you did and just execute even better. So I really like that. That's his bro as well, man. His bro's quick. Family got some great great genetics. They got the speed genetic in their family right there. And looks like he's taking a break, you know. And the thing is too, when it comes to technical focus, you need to take breaks in between. Honestly, like, so many people think that go is the best thing. Take rest. Guy's sitting on a chair right now. He's sitting on something, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta take rest so that you can have high effort with every single rep that you do. So important. I'm gonna just skip ahead a little bit. All right, so it looks like that was it for the track. I don't know how much of his workout he actually recorded, but you know, he started with block starts. He did say that he was going to do some power bounce, but they didn't show it. So I'm sure he probably just didn't record everything, but he did some blocks, probably did some more sprints. And the logic behind that is very important too, of why you want to start with the blocks and the sprinting, is because you need as much energy for that. You don't want to be fatigued when your goal is to improve your speed, right? So he started with that, and now he's in the weight room. One thing I want to say too is just the logic of this as well, of what he's about to do in the weight room. Starting with the hang cleans, which is the most technically demanding exercise just from the looks of what we have on the whiteboard right here. And again, when you're doing something that requires a lot of power, a lot of speed, or a lot of technical focus, you need to begin your workout with that. And that's what he's doing. He's got his hang cleans, great for your power. Then he's got Medball throws right there. Again, good for power. Single leg jumps, good for a single leg power. Step ups, got that strengthening. Bosu Balance, you know, I'm sure that's very good for, you know, helping the smaller muscles in his legs. Toe to bar, L-sit plank, just some good core work right there. And he's talking about it right here as well, you know, so we'll go ahead and critique it fully. But this looks like a solid workout. And the other thing I like about it is it's not even too long. You know, how many exercises that it's really not too long. He could probably roll through this within an hour or so, you know, depending on how much rest that he's taking with everything. So let's see how his hang cleans look right here. Solid. So hang cleans are a wonderful exercise. Olympic lifting in general is really good because it focuses on that powerful and explosive triple extension, which is the extension of the ankles, knees, and the hips. And what's good about this is it's going to help him become more powerful without putting on mass, right? Because he's at an ideal weight for a sprinter. You don't need to put on any excess weight. So he's going to get more powerful pound for pound, and he's moving it quick. He moved it really, really well. So for any athlete who needs to rely on power, you can't go wrong with hang cleans. You know, I'm going to be honest. I personally don't do them only because I have wrist injuries. It's a long story. I'll get into it another day, but I was a clown in a circus, walked on my hands all the time, and then I had really bad tendinitis, and so I just can't do that. There's a lot of things I can't do because of my wrists, but if I didn't have that issue, then I would totally do it. And I'm not just being lazy about getting my wrist better. Literally, the doctor told me that I need to have a surgery, which is going to fuse all the bones. But again, it's a longer story. I don't do it, but they're great. So don't think that because I'm not doing it, they're bad. No, they're great. And he looked good doing those. He looked very good doing those. Now his Medball throws. These look wonderful too. Very powerful. Gotta remember, sprinting is not just lower body. Sprinting is not just lower body. Everything is working right there. This is also really good for the nervous system, you know, for him to recruit many muscle fibers, and the speed at which those muscle fibers are firing and being recruited is incredible when he's doing that Medball throw. So we got his power with the hang cleans. Now we got the power with that Medball throw. And as a sprinter, you got to be powerful in the upper body too. So this makes perfect sense why he's choosing these specific exercises. And again, the order of operation as to why he did it, you know, closer to the beginning of his workout is because he needs to be fresh for it. Anytime you got power going on, you need to be fresh with that. Let's just go right into his jumps. Perfect. Nice. So single leg explosiveness. I mean, when you think about sprinting, it really is just a bunch of single leg hops repeatedly. So him training that single leg force production is a direct translation to your sprinting. And then this is the Bosu Balance. So, you know, I think a lot of people would probably look at this and be like, this is a waste of time. But are you going to tell the fastest man in the world what he's doing is a waste of time? Clearly, it's something is working, right? So I don't think this is a waste of time at all. I think, you know, let me just pause it real quick as I talk about it. So I don't think that it's a waste of time simply because you have to fully understand why something is in there in the first place, right? You can't just look at one thing and be like, oh, this isn't good for me or for that guy, then it's not good at all. No, maybe he has a history of ankle sprains. I don't know how he could really do that as a sprinter, but maybe maybe there's something with his feet and he needs to work those smaller intrinsic muscles of the foot. But just in general, balance is great to have. You got good balance, then you're able to recruit those smaller muscles. And as a sprinter, you want all those muscles to be able to fire and work efficiently. So I think this is really good. You know, just without context, you know, I don't know if I would throw it in just without any context, but it's clearly working for Noah. So we can't say nothing. Now we got toes to bar. So personally, I think it'd be better if he did that with a little less momentum. But what's good is that he is using his hip flexors. When you're using momentum like that, you're using your hip flexors a little bit more. And as a sprinter, obviously, you need those strong hip flexors that can fire quickly. So it actually makes sense that he's going fast with it. And great exercise. I mean, hip flexors getting strong, your core getting strong, grip, can't go wrong right there. And now L-sits. Now, all right, so I'm gonna just pause this and talk about this. This is a wonderful exercise too, because now he's working that core and hip flexor endurance, especially when you're at top speed. And this, when you look at Noah, he's got amazing top speed. The best top speed that we've seen, to be honest, besides Bolt. So this, to have that good core and hip flexor endurance as you continue sprinting after those, 4, 5, 6 seconds, that's what literally wins this guy the match or the race. Good stuff. I mean, you can just see him being able to hold that brace, teaching your body to hold that. I think for max speed is huge. you know, especially under fatigue, because at this point, you know, he's already done quite a few exercises and he's already sprinted. So to hold this under fatigue, that is literally translating very well to when you think about your max speed, especially if it's a 200. I mean, after 15 seconds of sprinting already, to be able to continuously fire those muscles the way they should be, that's big. And then a plank, you know, just again to reinforce, you know, the bracing mechanic right there. And at the end of the workout, you don't need to do anything crazy. So I think just the isometric hold right there, perfect way to finish it off. And what I love about planks too is it's anti-extension of the back and anti-rotation a little bit, right? So this is really good for him. I mean, just you can't go wrong with the plank. Good core, pelvic stability. And I think there was a couple other things that was on the whiteboard that he didn't show, like the step ups, maybe something else. But I mean, we know step ups are going to be great for your single leg strength. So looks like that was it. So I did look up a little bit more context about that specific workout, and that was filmed in May of 2022. The US World Championship trials were in June. So it makes perfect sense that that workout was not as, you know, rigorous. It didn't leave him dying on the floor. It was lower volume, higher intensity, and that was literally perfect to help him peak and get ready for the trials. So that was fun. That was nice to look at. I'm super excited to see the rest of the docuseries, just to look at, you know, what he's been doing. And I'll also want to check out a bunch of other athletes. So if there's anybody you recommend or want me to check out and critique, leave it in the comment section down below. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm gonna see y'all soon. Peace.